Hi everyone, I'm John and this is Just A GearHead, and in this episode we're going to continue working on the Century. Stay tuned. Alright, so that is everyone continue working on the Century today. I think what we're going to do is get a coat of paint or two on the engine, and then we'll see, maybe we'll swap out the fuel tank or something else. We'll see. I think the first thing we'll do today is try to get a coat of paint or two on the engine block here. I don't have the heads back yet, and as you can see the transmission isn't back yet. So what I'm going to do is mask off the top here, and then probably go over it real quick with some grease remover, paint prep type stuff, and then we're going to spray on a couple of coats of, I think it's Duplicolor engine enamel in red, and yeah, so it should look a little bit better. I'm not concerned about the front part. Back there you really won't see much once the heads and the exhaust go on, so I'm not overly concerned there, but this front area is really where I want to concentrate on making it look a little nicer. Anyways, we'll start prepping it out. That's the engine bay, all masked off. It probably would have been easier to paint the motor first and then paint the engine bay, because then it just wrapped the motor, but I painted everything black. So now I have to mask all of this off and then paint the motor. Wasn't thinking ahead. But anyways, we're going to put right down with some paint prep type stuff, and then we'll start spraying on some paint. That's one coat of the engine enamel on. I did that overspray on the spray bar and this area down here, and some of my power steering pump. So definitely should have painted the motor first before painting everything black. As I'll have to see if I can clean that off or put some more trim clad black over that later. But I'll wait till I get this fully painted. Certainly a couple more coats. This engine enamel stuff doesn't cover that well. You can see there's spots up there, but it's showing through. The black of the engine is still showing through a bit. Anyways, so that's that. Now, I think we'll move on to something else. There's some other things I want to paint black, and I do need to get the fuel tank out, because when you fill it up past halfway, it has a leak. And if you look under here, you can see someone did a pretty good whammo to it right there. And there, it looks like at some point this was moved around a yard with a forklift or something. And yeah, they ran into the gas tank and they bent up this back bar here. Not too concerned about the back bar here, it's just a little twisted. But yeah, every time I fill up the gas tank past half or whatever, it starts to leak from somewhere up there. So that is going to have to come out. It's just a few bolts up at the front, and these straps come off. Then there's the wire for the sending unit and the fuel lines. It should drop right out, hopefully. It doesn't look like it was in too bad of a shape before someone did that to it. And then the filler neck goes up there behind the license plate. I did buy a replacement tank. I'm pretty sure it's the same. It said it's for this car. I just hope the filler neck is the same. The fuel lines are up here, and the round for the sending units up here, and the other wire for the sending unit I think was to the harness for the rear tail lights. So I can't get to those without dropping the tank down. I think this is mostly empty. Sounds mostly empty. So I'm going to do the straps and let it down, and hopefully there's enough slack in the lines in the wire that I can let it down and undo those. But we're about to find out. I need another wrench. Alright, I'll be back. So this one has a bolt and the nut holding it up instead of those long threaded hooks that a lot of cars have. So that'll make putting it back together a little bit more fun.
see if I can do this. So the head of the bolt is 5/8 and the nut is 9/16 for some reason. Alright, so the problem is this is supposed to be a captive nut, but as you can see it spins. I don't know if it's supposed to do that, but I don't think it's supposed to do that. So I had to put a wrench up here. And this is, for some reason, 9/16 and the bolt was 5/8. And that will do the other side. And hopefully this one comes off easier. There's still glass in it. So, as I had these lines and wires, and for the most part it should be pretty simple. Put the clamps up there. This one just pulls off, I think. This one's soldered on, so I'm going to have to start with that, I think. I don't think that pulls out of there. But I might have to hot one of these crimps and redo it. But, yeah. Alright, so the sending unit, although it looks a little rusty on the top, it was a little dirty, internally this thing looks like pretty new. There's, no junk on it, or the filter's nice and clean, so, and I know it did work, so we'll reuse this. Just want to make sure we put it back in, roughly the same way it came out. I don't know if I can do this one-handed. In there. And I'll just have to redo that connector since I cut it. But yeah, so that'll go in there and gasket and a new ring, and then I'll fix up that wire, and yeah, we'll put it back in. We'll put this one in. So I had to take the sending it back out because the gasket has to go on before it goes on, and then you retain it. But it's in now, and I peel back the wire, strip back the wire, put the connector on this end. I've stripped back the wire under the car, so now we should be able to just put this back up in there. Getting those fuel lines back on might be a bit of a trick. I don't like those little switch clamps that they use. I might replace those with the other true hose clamps. But yeah, I think I will actually. I'm going to grab a couple of those before we get started putting it back in. gas tank is in. There's a bit of a fight, or quite a bit of a fight. I had to have my wife come out and give me a hand, but it fits. The straps look a little loose on that one, but it's in there nice and tight, so I don't think it's going anywhere. And the fill neck does end up in the right spot. But yeah, but after all that, I'm going to take a break. It's pretty much lunchtime anyway, so I'm going to grab a drink and something to eat. The engine has a couple more coats of paint on it. It looks pretty good. So we'll let that drop and then we'll unmask all this. But for now, that's tank's in, that's painted again. There's some parts that I wanted to paint black, like the fan and some bracketry and stuff for the motor. So I think I'll grab those real quick and throw a coat of trim pad on those. Alright, so here we have an assortment of things I want to paint black. The inspection cover for the transmission, the fan, the radiator hold down, the pulleys and brackets for the engine. So yeah, they have all been scuffed and wiped down with paint prep. So we're just going to hit with the trim pads, satin black or semi-gloss black, same stuff I used in the engine bay. I masked the engine bay area and cleaned up a little bit of red overspray. But there we go. It's bright red and a little shiny. Ready to put back together. So it looks pretty good. Hopefully it holds up. I hit all of these with another coat of trim pad black. So I just want to let them dry, flip them over and do the back sides and a couple of them, like the fan. And then these will be done too. Alright, so that'll be it for this episode of Just A GearHead. I am supposed to get my heads and my transmission back this week. So maybe next weekend I can start putting this back together. So maybe next episode will be starting to put it more back together. But anyways, thank you for watching. Please comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you guys want merchandise, please check out the link to my Redbubble page in the description below. And yeah. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.